People of Wraith. I got a huge market watch, a lot to talk about. The weekend was crazy. I was at Worlds last weekend. Shout out the few of you that came up to me and said hi, so what's up? I appreciate you guys. Nice to meet all the viewers. Don't forget, this is not financial advice. This is never financial advice. The market has been going completely crazy. They just announced Compedium of Wraith with a lot of reprints. Before we jump into it, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments, are you interested in a story time? I'm thinking about doing a little yap session, me just yapping about the weekend, how everything was. I got 9th at the Reviled Battle Harden, so I feel really bad bubbling out, but 9th is not too bad, I guess. But yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in a story time, and let's jump into it. Now, for those of you that are living under a rock, don't know about the reprints, they're finally doing a Fabled reprint, which is pretty awesome. Eye of Ophidia is confirmed to be reprint in the new set Compedium of Wraith. Now, right now it's at a crazy 430 plus. I don't know what the reprint will do to this. I assume it will go down, but this is like uncharted territory, so I don't know what'll happen. This is why this is not financial advice. You do what you want with your money. I would not buy an Eye of Ophidia, at least until Compendium's out. Now, for those of you that missed it, these are the reprints. I'm unclear if there's going to be regular non-EA reprints. I think there likely will be, but there's a special gold pack that has these extended art reprints with the new border. So Shelter and Balance of Justice are also confirmed to be reprinted, as well as Findal Spring Tunic, one of the goated cards, also getting reprinted. So if you've been wanting to pick up a Spring Tunic, probably best to hold off till Compendium unless you really need it for some reason. Now, Riches of Trouble Donnie has not been announced to be reprinted. As crazy as the price is, maybe this is just me thinking as an old Yu-Gi-Oh player, but I think this is too recent for it to get reprinted. Hopefully I'm wrong. I mean, if it is reprinted, that would be great. Some people are theorizing maybe the cold foil will be in the set, because there's no cold printing of Riches of Triple Donnie. So that could be a possibility. It's pretty much 385 plus, so this is crazy. Yeah, hopefully I'm wrong. I don't think it'll get reprinted. Light of Soul, 5 on the market. 170, 170, then pretty much 200, then 400. LSS, please put this in Compendium. I know James White loves Prism. Prism has 2 Fableds that she runs to be playable, and it's kind of crazy how expensive they are. The other one being Great Library of Solana. I know some people cut this, and honestly for a Fabled, it's not too bad. 140, 140, then slowly going to 150. But the fact that they're printing cards that I think are optimal for the deck and they're so expensive is kind of crazy to me. I think this is a good time to reprint it. Hopefully it gets reprinted. Grandeur High of Valhalla, about 150. I don't know if this will get reprinted. I'm thinking it could possibly be reprinted, especially because they're trying to push Guardian more. I know this got reprinted, and I think it might have been only outside of the US, but there was like a Mastery Guardian pack that wasn't like the one that got released here that did have a reprint. So I don't know if they'll reprint it again. 150 is a lot for a gem that doesn't see play, so hopefully it does get reprinted. Heart of Fandal, I'm like 90% sure this will be reprinted. I could be wrong, but I think this is the perfect time to reprint it. It's not even like it's a crazy broken Fabled. It has seen some competitive play throughout Flesh and Blood's life. Personally, I really like the card, so I would love to own one, but I'm not going to play 230, 237. Not trying to pay that for this Fabled, especially because it's so niche. Like, Eye of Ophidia is pretty crazy, that's why it has such a crazy price. This, I can't remember the last time I saw this on a deck list. It might have been like, well, maybe Lieth. I think some Lieth players are playing it. Anyways, LSS, please reprint this. Arknight Shard, the legendary Viscerai spec, about 180, 189, 190. Hopefully this gets reprinted. Like I said, I can't tell the future. I have a pretty good feeling that these old Fabled will get reprinted. I just can't guarantee it. That's just what I think. Authority of Ataya. I'm almost certain this is not getting reprinted. I mean, it just came out in the latest set. I think it's very unlikely for LSS to reprint it. I think we're going to see it around the 280 range for quite a while. I mean, this was like the cold fools were going crazy not too long ago. Here's a light plate for about 300. Very few listings, but don't hold your breath. I don't think this will get reprinted. 250 for a cold foil. Not bad at all. Yeah, I think it'll be a couple years down the line before the newer Fables get reprinted. E-Strike was not confirmed to be reprinted, but there was this Lightning Man in the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, just go to the Flesh and Blood YouTube channel. It was a pretty hype trailer. I'm almost sure it's an E-Strike reprint. It could just be a different new card, but I think we're due for an E-Strike reprint. It's not a crazy price, about $33, $34, $35. A playset will run you $100. So it is something that I think LSS has on their radar. I think reprinting this one time will be good. Command and Conquer. This might be controversial. I think they're going to reprint it again. I think as good as reprinting it was, it did drive down the unlimited CNCs a little bit down, closer to 70. That's still a lot. That's close to $210 for a reprint with a reprint for the OG without any shipping or taxes. And it's kind of crazy because the reprint's actually more. So I think LSS might reprint this again. I hope they do. I know a lot of people don't like reprints, but I'd rather be the game accessible and be able to get into it than have such a high. You need to get all these expensive high cards before you can start playing competitively. So I would love for another CNC reprint. Hopefully LSS does it. If not, Arcane Rising is not that bad if you're looking for a CNC, but I would hold off till Compendium before buying anything. Crown of Dominion. I have a big hunch this will get reprinted. This card is going absolutely nuts the past couple months. Essentially 140 right now, 150. I would hold off, not buy this. I have a good feeling it'll be reprinted. I could be completely wrong, but this sees play like in LL and CC, and I think it's due for a reprint. Crown of Providence did get a reprint in Dusk Till Dawn. The Dusk Till Dawn variant is about 120, slowly 135. I think there's a lot of generic legendaries that need reprints. Let's see the original set of Crown of Providence, how much it's going for right now from Uprising. So a little bit more for the rainbow foil, pretty much 150 for the rainbow foils. Let's check out the cold foils. Cold foils looking like 240 for some of the cheapest ones. 232 for the cheapest ones. Yeah, I think this could be a good time to reprint it. I mean, maybe LSS doesn't care since they already did the reprint in Dusk Till Dawn. Maybe they'll save it for another set. I think it could be reprinted. Grasp of the Arknight. This is not too expensive. The rainbow foil is about 64, 65. I don't know if this is on the reprint radar. Don't feel bad if you want to pick this up. I think foil grasps usually are close to 100 when they're seeing like meta play and like a tier 1 hero. So I personally would avoid picking it up just because I think Compendium is going to have a lot of crazy reprints. But if you want to pick it up, it's not a bad price, especially for the rainbow foil. Valiant Dynamo. This has been $100 for a while. Looking right now like 82 for these like new sellers. And then about 93 for a light plate. First ad cold foil close to 100, which is kind of crazy. I think this will get reprinted. It's speculation. I could be 100% wrong. I have a feeling this will get reprinted. Balance of Justice, we know this is getting reprinted. I think the price has been trickling down just a little bit. We see it had some sold listings for 200. Looks like one sold for 160. think people are trying to move it after the announcement. So if you want to pick it up, I would wait. Even though this seems like a good deal, if you don't need it desperately, I would wait till Compendium. I think this will go down. Quick Dodge Flexors. I'm sorry to say I do not think this will be reprinted. We're looking at about 140, 145, 150. This just came out in the Haunted, so I don't think we're going to see it reprinted anytime soon. So it's probably going to stick around this price for quite a while. Tunic, we already talked about that, is getting reprinted. OG Rainbow Foil, Welcome to Wraith, about 130. Let's check out the sold listings recently. Yeah, it looks like it's been about this price. Guys, if you don't need a Tunic, don't buy one. Just wait till Compendium. I think all the Tunics will drop down, but make sure you get a Tunic at some point during Compendium. Not at its pre-release. Maybe when it releases, maybe the week after. Get your Tunic, because this card has been reprinted so many times, but yet it always climbs back up in all the variants. I think it just shows that the game is growing. Everybody needs this. Look at the history pack, 145, Bright Lights, 130, 135. Like, this is crazy. Why are these more than the Welcome to Wraith ones? That's crazy to me. Yeah, guys, just hold off till the reprint comes out. But make sure when the reprint comes out and you can find a Tunic for a good price that you're willing to pay, make sure you get it, because they always just climb up. I remember History Pack was like $60 maybe like a year ago or something. The Bright Light Tunics were maybe like 90, 80. So Tunics are always going to go up even after a reprint. They're a huge part of the game. Shelter already going down just a little bit. A little under 80. We're looking at 74, 74, 74 for the non-foils. The rainbow foils are pretty much holding their price, about 110. I know they used to be a lot higher, but they're still holding their price even after the announcement. And let's check out the EAs real quick. I don't think the EAs have moved that much. EAs first ed near mint, about 285, 290. So I think that's what they've been hovering around. Let's see. Alright, one did sell for 400, so that's kind of crazy. But I think they've been holding their price pretty good. I don't think these will drop much, if at all. Even though we're getting another Shelter EA reprint, I think these will hold its value. I mean, there's only 10 on the market. Yeah. Smash Up. Alright, we're done talking about reprints. Let's talk about Smash Up. I talked about this card before. It's kind of like a CNC replacement. Pretty cheap. Rainbow foils. There's only 16 on the market. So it's getting bought a little bit. People are starting to notice this could be a good card. Could see play in Silver Age. Could see play in like Ira and CC. A 1 for 5 with a non-hit is pretty good. I've seen some Pleiades running it and play it for free thanks to what happens next. Now the promo, there's only 6 listings. There's 2 cheap ones here, then it goes to 15, 19, 26. If you guys don't want to spend the money on the EA, definitely just get yourself the foil. The non-foils are pretty cheap right now, but the EAs are just 2 for a pretty good price, about $7 basically, and then jumps to 15. So do what you want with that information. Never financial advice. Tempest Gust Wave. This was seen play in LL because Bonds sees this as a gust wave and triggers its effect, which is pretty cool. I didn't even think about that for Zen. I love Zen. The card is pretty cheap right now. I think all of the Katsu support cards come out and are pretty cheap. And then you give it a couple months and they go to like $4 when they were like $1. So guys, if you're interested, get your Gust Wave before a playset costs you $12, $9, something like that, when a playset could cost you $3. Same thing, Gust Wave of second wind's not even that good. Once we get past the moderator play, it's like $4. So get your Tempest Gust Wave if you're interested in ninjas, Zen LL, or even Katsu for pretty much under $1 is not bad. And before it reaches to this point of $4 for one. Alright, March of Loyalty. During the Worlds venue, I was looking at some of the top CC tables. Seen a couple of Syndras playing this. I'm not completely sold, but I always talk about Gem Pack 1 cards because they're going to be pretty rare soon. We looked at Scar Tissue not too long ago. The rainbow foils are up. March of Loyalty, I think, could go up. There's only 13 on the market. After these two sell, it's pretty much $5. So if you're interested in Syndra, it might be worth picking up. Talk to your locals. Maybe people have them from opening their Gem Packs 1. And what's cool is this is not just like a Syndra card. It's also could be pretty good in Fang. And Draconic Heroes in the future that care about fealty, I think, can make pretty good use of this. Bully Tactics. This is one of the promos for, I think it was like getting the Fabled package. There is a sold listing for pretty much 60 for a playset. So 60 each, I'm pretty sure it's how it goes. We have these listings for like 51, 52, but no one has bought them. If you have some, it's not a bad time to sell. I wouldn't buy these just yet. I think a lot of people got them from the Worlds Fabled package and things like that. So if you're looking to buy some, maybe wait like a week or two. We have more listings. But if you want to sell and you want to make some money, you can undercut these sellers, be the first vendor. Now, Bully Tactics came with Mocking Blow. We finally have a listing. $30, and looks like it has been selling. It looks like one sold for 10, so that's pretty good. But it looks like they're solidly at 20 for the red Mocking Blow. Blue Mocking Blow, I think it's going to be pretty similar. Yeah, same thing. Sold for 10. Now there's some sold for 20. It's looking like it's 20. Yellow, the worst one of them all, but still pretty good. Looks like sold for 20, sold for 10. Looks like it's at 12. I think this will be like a nice $10 card. I think the blue and the reds will see a lot more play. Crowd Goes Wild, $100. Don't buy this. If you have them, go ahead and put them up on TCG Players. I think the card could be worth closer to 50, closer to what we're looking at the Bully Tactics. Don't buy this one. Comeback Kid. Finally, we got some prices. About 23 sold listings for 20. I think this will hover around 20. That's the blue one's pretty good. The red one for 15. Looks like it sold for 10. 15's not bad. It's only one listing, so if you're interested in Comeback Kid, I would wait a little bit. Yellow, I wouldn't even bother looking at this. I don't think anyone's gonna play the yellow. One listing for $15. Dig In Yellow, yeah, I would avoid this too. Essentially $10. No sold listings. Don't buy this. Dig In Red, I think it's also tough. Red is not that good. I think we're only going to see this in Pleiades. I don't think Tough Nut would play this. The blue Dig In, though, I think it does have some merit. Blue block 3s with an effect on block to create toughness could be pretty good. You have one for essentially 30. No sold listings, but I think maybe 20 would be a good price. It really depends how much meta play it's going to see. But I do think the blue one is one of the best ones. Bask in Your Own Greatness. This was given out at the Battle Harden. One of each. No listings yet. If you have yours, you want to sell them. I think putting them up for like 20 is not a bad place to start. I don't think they'll sell for 20. Yellows, one listing for 15. No sold listings. Alright. Florian Marble is only here because we're going to be talking about the Philly Diner promos. The Marble's about 85, 86. It's pretty low compared to a lot of other Marbles. We do have the Florian Diner promo, the OG Prism, and the Dash promo. They're not on TCG Player yet. I was seeing a lot of people trying to sell them on Purple Discord for close to 100. I don't think 100 is a bad price. If you guys can find someone to sell it to you for 100, I think it could be a good buy. I think that at the event, they were kind of undervalued because I felt like the whole room had one. But everybody who didn't go to Worlds and didn't have access to get these and does want them are now going to be looking for them in the market. So I think 100 is not bad. I think they could even go up. So if you want to get one for 100, that's not a bad deal at all. The beach promos are a little different because how many people were able to go to Singapore compared to Philly? So there's probably less of these. The Kasai one's completely sold out. Had sold listings for like 190, 180. Syndra, basically 184, 192, 192. Sold listings 180, 180, 180. And Vector, essentially 150, 160, 184. With sold listings 140, 160, 200. I don't know if the diner promos will do as good as the beach promos, but I do think that we can kind of reference the prices of these guys for the diner promos. Now, I think 100 is not a bad price for the diner promos, but I'm not going to buy them. So pay whatever you're okay with paying, but I do think it's better to get them earlier than later. I do think that once they hit TCG Player, they're probably going to be somewhere from the range of like 120 to 150. So make your own decisions, never financial advice. But that pretty much wraps it up for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Shout out to you. And let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in a story time about me yapping. And yeah, peace.